Hello, boys and girls. Welcome to Bitch Talk with Bitchcock. My name is Maliena Bitchcock, and I'm so happy to announce this is episode 5, and I have a very, very special guest all the way from Portland, a beautiful blonde bombshell all the way from Portland, Miss Jaklyn St Claire.
Hey, how is everybody?
Girl,
Nice
you look fabulous.
Well, thank you. It's my new Alice costume debuting. This is the first time people will get to see it other than pictures, so I'm excited.
Oh, I love this. It looks like you just popped right out of the looking glass. I love it.
I mean, Wonderland does wonders for the face, the mind, the soul, the body. You know. And I see whatever coven you're coming from. I want to be a part of it.
Yes, I'm giving you American Horror Story coven realness. I love it.
I love this. This look is everything to me. I love that you're mixing several of the characters together. You got the red hair from Frances Conroy, but it's all done up and nice and curly and it's pretty. You look like a combination of all the Supremes, bitch.
Well, I'm the new Supreme, so.
You is the new Supreme. Okay.
So, how are you surviving the quarantine and the shutdown of all the bars?
I'm doing well with it. I'm really fortunate enough to have a great day job Monday through Friday. I'm really fortunate enough to have, at least that source of income still. We were still, impacted by the virus and everything because I work in trucking and logistics. And when steamships are not bringing cargo in, then there's not a lot of stuff that needs to be trucked out. So, I mean, my work was impacted a little bit, but I'm still fortunate enough that wasn't shut down. So, but without the bars and without restaurants and without being able to do drag, my life has slowed down quite a bit. And I'm kind of going a little bit stir crazy. But, finding new things to keep me going, thinking of new projects and new looks and stuff to do is nice, but doing well.
Did you lose a lot of bookings when all the bars started closing down? Because you have a regular show at Stag, don't you?
So I am the Thursday night hostess at Stag. So yeah, I did lose that one. And then I also have another show that is every second and fourth Saturday. And because the restaurants and everything are closed right now, I lost that as well. So I did lose my 2 regular gigs, aside from all of the other onesies and twosies shows that I was booked for and everything. So, I mean, I lost everything as far as drag goes. I lost, like I said, Stag, and then I lost my brunch. But I'm sure that once everything gets opened back up, we'll be right back to where we were. So
hopefully it doesn't take too much longer. But in the meantime, I'm happy I could have you here on Bitch Talk with Bitchcock.
Yes,
so,
ma'am.
Are you ready to get into it and share all the tea?
I mean, I'm gonna give you some tea. If I give you all the tea, then there's nothing else to talk about. So you'll get the Cliff version. How about that?
I love that. I'm okay with taking it halfway.
Oh. Just slightly more than the tip, right, Maliena?
Just slightly.
Slightly more.
What we're going to start with, tell me a little bit what actually made you want to start drag.
So I got started doing drag. This coming May will be 2 years. So 2 years ago, I was seeing this guy at the time who was also a performer, and I had never even thought about doing drag. I had barely started playing with makeup the December before that. So from December to May, I had just started learning how to do my makeup as a boy. And then I started seeing this guy. I was seeing him for a few weeks, and then they encouraged me to do drag. So I did it once while I was in school, and I really liked it. I had a lot of fun with it. And then I did it a second time. But shortly after I started doing drag, that person decided not to see me anymore. So, but it was a boy. It was a guy that I was seeing at the time who got me actually encouraged to start.
Well, they just obviously didn't like the competition. They realized they were no longer going to be the prettiest one in the household.
Ah! Where's the
Well, let's talk a little bit about the drag evolution, where you started, how many personas you may have had on the way, and where you are now.
Okay. 2 years ago, I gave myself the name Jaklyn Frost. Jaklyn Frost was the girl I like when I created myself. Shortly after that, I found out that there was already a performer, a really established performer, who had already been an empress in another city, another town, and then she relocated to the Northwest. And so I found out that there was a Jaklyn Frost who was already in the area. And because I'm baby and I'm brand new, I was like, well, I can't compete with someone who has the same name, especially if they're an established queen. So Jaklyn Frost became Freya Frost. And Freya came from a favorite TV show of mine. And then, of course, Norse mythology was where Freya came from. But over the course of the last 2 years, Jaklyn has been able to come back. And Jaklyn was the name I always wanted because I'm a diehard Elsa fan. And I also love Jack Frost. So I just put them together. But over the course of the last 2 years, Jaklyn's been able to come back under my new name. And she's had several personas along the way. Oh my goodness. My drag is very much inspired by like the woman, not so much like, I don't know how to explain it, but I'm sure I'll come back to it. But my drag is very much inspired by real women. And when I first started, I found looks that I liked and tried to emulate them and stuff like that. So I guess I would consider myself more of a female impersonator and less of a drag queen. Does that make sense?
No, totally. And, I've even noticed that you go for that very pretty and, realistic look, which is fantastic. Tell me a little bit of the character. So the actual personality that comes out when you put on the wig and the makeup and all that glamour. Tell me a little bit about Jaklyn St Claire.
Okay, that was gonna be my follow-up question. Which persona do you want to know about? Because Jaklyn St Claire is the cute, fun. She's the one who is a part of the Imperial Sovereign Rose Court. She's the fundraiser. She's the charity girl. She was like, when you think about a Southern debutante, that's kind of who she was. Very proper, poised, polished. And then we have Disney Princess Jackie, who you see right now. And then the third persona is Backwoods Jackie. And that Backwoods Jackie is the girl who just came straight from the trailer park and knows how to have a good time.
Oh my God, I don't feel like I've seen too much of Backwoods Jackie, and I kind of want to.
Backwoods Jackie is a good time. If she wants to go out on the town and turn up, that's who she is. If I want to go out and I want to do some country music and I want to perform more where my roots are and where I came from growing up, I'll do the country thing and I will put some booty shorts on and hit the town.
I love that. So you're not afraid to show skin at all, are you?
This girl doesn't show skin. Nobody needs to see that. I have nice body shapers and I have Spanx that are nude color. That's how you get what you get.
I'm okay with showing fake skin. So they think they are seeing skin, but it's
right.
Just no.
Everybody loves a good nude illusion bodysuit.
Yes. So, your personality, you seem very very smart, very sweet. I really love that when people meet you, you're very bubbly. Tell me a little bit about the personality that is you now as Jaklyn St Claire.
When I very, very first started doing drag, I was brand new and I was out and about and I was experiencing Portland nightlife for the first time. And some of the people I met right off the bat were not so nice, were not so sweet. They definitely had some of that stereotypical, I'm a drag queen, right, persona as far as, turning a blind eye at newbies and, that superiority complex that some people have. And
right.
When I decided that I was going to do drag, I was like, my first rule is I'm not going to be one of those girls. I'm not going to be that. I'm going to be the girl that people can be friends with. I'm going to be the girl that if you tell me a secret, I'm going to keep it. I want to be that girl that everyone knows that they can come to if they want to talk about something. And I don't judge people to the best of my abilities, but we are drag queens and that's kind of in our DNA.
Yeah.
But I also didn't want to be known as that shady girl because that's not who I am. Like even in my regular day-to-day life, it's like that's not how I work. So I don't want to be known as that shady girl. Do I know how to throw a comment every once in a while? Yes, but who doesn't?
You know, honestly, there's a difference between being shady and being a bully. And, you know, the thing about shade that a lot of people don't realize, if you're being shady to someone, usually that person you're being shady with, you already have a relationship with, that you kind of already know that it's safe to kind of joke about certain things.
Yeah.
Where you're being a bully and you're putting, like, let's say a new performer who's starting up in the scene and you're kind of pushing them down or cutting them down, that's not the same thing. That's that's actually bullying, and we shouldn't be doing that as a drag culture because, again, we are a big family. No one else will understand us more than another drag queen who puts on the hair, who puts on the makeup, and goes through it all.
We live in a day and age when there is way too much hate, and I just don't have time for it. So I've made it a goal of mine, and I'm trying really, really hard, even, you know, day by day, to be nice to as many people as I possibly can. Don't go out of my way to intentionally cause someone else harm. Like, there's just way too much of that already, and I just don't want to be that girl. So I've tried really, really hard all the way up until this point. You know, we all make mistakes and we all have slip ups and we all have, you know, our moments, but I've tried really hard day in and day out to be the best version of myself that I possibly can. Because, you know, there's way too much of that nastiness out there.
And I love that. I really respect that kind of attitude. I think more queens can really learn from that and just realize the best accessory that any drag queen can have is kindness. So I really love that you're a sweet queen. So let's talk about let's see here. What is one of the biggest misconceptions people might actually have about your drag?
I have been like thinking about this question for all night and all day, and I don't know. A lot of people have
I was going to say, when I first met you, because of how you're painted, before I even got to know you, you kind of are painted with that rested bitch face. So
yeah, that was like, yes. So we'll go with that one for now. But when I first came out on the scene, and I painted my face the way I did, and the clothes that I was wearing, and the way that I carried myself, that was a huge misconception. Was that I was just a straight up bitch, like straight up bitch. People thought that I was unapproachable. People thought that I was just rude, and people thought I was mean. And when I very, very first started drag, I was quite a bit shadier then than I am now. And I did say some things that were not so great. And I have since then made amends with most people that I have burned bridges with. And I feel like that's important. But a big common misconception with me and my drag is that because of the way I look, or because of the way I do my makeup, or whatever, or an experience that somebody else had with me, that I'm a huge bitch. I'm mean, I'm nasty, like, because I will be the first person to tell that I have resting bitch face, hardcore, but I can't help it. But like, once people get to know me and they talk to me, like, I'm super easy to talk to.
Exactly. The one thing that people don't realize about a lot of drag queens, they just see the confidence and the glitz and the glamour, but they don't know that secretly inside we're awkward, that we're scared to talk to people sometimes. And especially working in things like the court system, it can be very intimidating. So
you walk around with a tiara and people just automatically assume.
Mm-hmm. And you know, I agree. You know, I've held many titles within the court, and people assume. And it's funny because I didn't even get noticed until I was about princess. And when I became princess, people started noticing me and being like, "Oh, you're Maliena Bitchcock. Where did you come from?" And I'm like, well, I've been around for 5 years, so.
Right. Where have you been?
Where have you been? So,
Yeah.
and then when I became Empress, it's just like I became friends with everyone. And so I really do understand that. Let's talk a little bit about, because to me, I sometimes think you're very much a sexy queen. I don't think you do it on purpose, but you're a very sexy queen.
I don't. In what way? In what way do you mean? Like,
I feel like all the boys probably want to bang Jaklyn.
I have been propositioned a couple of times. I'm not gonna lie. I have had a lot of people on like Instagram and stuff like that hit me up, and they think that I'm a biological woman, and I'm not. I'm very, very much. I'm a male, I guess you could say like that, and I definitely am very aware of my body and everything like that, and I definitely know that I'm male, but people perceive me as being a female when I'm in drag a lot. Like a lot. It happens. Random people at the bar or random people on social media will message me and think that I'm a really sexy lady, and I'm like, oh, well, thanks. But you know I'm a dude under this, right? So that happens a lot.
Oh my gosh. And I think that's funny because I think a lot of queens, we get flirted with by the boys out there, especially, oh, goodness, bad queen. Forgot to turn my phone off. It's fine. But there's a lot of us that get flirted with by the straight boys out there.
Right. Yeah.
And it's quite hilarious because you're like, you know I'm a guy, right?
Right, yeah. And I'm like, the description on my social media page says drag queen or says female impersonator, like, so whatever.
Would you consider Jaklyn more of a lady or a tramp?
It depends on which persona you're talking to, because if you're talking to Jaklyn, who was the debutante, she's a lady. If you're talking to Trailer Park Jackie, she's a hoe. But Jackie herself is actually like on a no. Jackie does not talk to boys. Jackie does not flirt. Jackie does not sleep with boys. Jackie is still innocent. Travis, on the other hand, he's taken, but Jackie is a good girl.
Okay.
She does not do the nasty.
I love that. So you've never, crossed any of those sexy boundaries in drag?
No, ma'am. No, ma'am.
I'm happy there's at least one out there.
At the end of the day, she goes back in the closet, so.
Well, as we were kind of mentioning before, you're very much a sweet queen, but I kind of want to know, when it comes down to it, is Jaklyn a sweetheart or a shady lady?
I definitely have moments when I can be either or. I try really, really hard to be more on the sweet side. I try really, really hard to be on the more of the friendly side and less on the shady side. But given the nature of the beast, I have my moments. And especially like when I'm like at work at Stag and I'm with the dancers and I'm with the other hostesses, and as queens come and go throughout the night, stuff like that, I definitely have my shadier moments, especially on the microphone. And I'm like, oh, look who just walked in. You know what I mean? But I definitely try a lot harder to be like the sweet, more kind girl, because I feel like there's not enough of those. So that's who I strive to be.
I love that. Now, when you are shady, and again, we mentioned you sometimes have relationships with certain queens or performers where you feel a little more comfortable to be shady with. Is there anyone that you feel comfortable being shady with?
Oh boy. Yeah, that I could definitely count a few that I'm way more than comfortable being shady with. My debutante sister, Sophia Valdez, is one of the girls. I could just go right up to her and clock a bitch, and she ain't gonna say nothing to me, or she's gonna say something worse back to me. So she's one of the girls that I can really throw it at, and I know that she's gonna turn around and give it right back to me. So I definitely know who I can like pick my battles with. So for sure.
See, I'm a brave queen. I always try to pick fights with Kimberly Michelle Westwood.
Everyone tries.
Well, I win.
Huh?
I win.
Oh,
she usually walks away when I'm shady with her. She's like, I can't win with you. I'm like, you're right.
No.
So talk to me a little bit about your drag style. You do tend to remind me of those beautiful blonde bombshells, as I mentioned before, kind of like Farrah Fawcett and Pamela Anderson. Do you have any famous women that kind of inspired this look?
Well, I look a lot. I like to look up to. I like to look up to women. I'm gonna say women for inspiration, and not like a character. Unless I'm doing Disney drag or something like that. Like, I'm not gonna inspire my drag after a fictional character on a movie or a TV show or something like that, unless I'm intentionally doing it. My drag is more inspired by the real woman. You'll see me in my big ass pads and my breastplate, and you'll see me wearing stuff that women, whether they're out at the bar and they're clubbing, or when I dress up in my country girl wear, like I do wear flat cowboy boots and jeans and stuff like that. Like, my drag is inspired by the real woman, and whether that be Farrah Fawcett with her beautiful blonde hair, or if I'm wearing a short brown bob, it's still gonna look like a real women is how I'm inspired for my drag, unless of course I'm doing a character intentionally.
Oh, I love that. And now you mentioned you really do love Disney. And it sounds like you might have a little bit of an obsession with Disney princesses. In fact, you've done several looks of several princesses and have done lots of photo shoots. Tell me a little bit about that.
It's my parents' fault, honestly. When I was a little kid, my parents raised me on the old VHS tapes, and we even still have all of them. So even when I was a kid, it was either Cartoon Network, like the Looney Tunes, or it was Disney movies. So it's my parents' fault for my Disney problem. I love portraying the Disney princesses, because when I do like all ages shows, brunches, stuff like that, where their youth are involved, the kids love Disney princesses. They just absolutely do. I have this little girl, her name is Rosie, and she's 6 years old, and she's one of my biggest fans. She met me one time when I was doing The Little Mermaid, and ever since then, she just absolutely adores it. So I do Disney, not only for myself, but for the little kids who love it. And I mean, it brings me joy because it reminds me of my childhood, but it's my parents' fault.
Well, I'm going to ask you a really difficult question. One that you may not forgive me for. Who is your favorite Disney princess?
That's actually a lot easier than people think. I love them all. Absolutely, I love them all, and I think they're fantastic. They each have great storylines and everything, and people are automatically going to assume that my favorite's going to be Elsa. I absolutely adore her, but she's not my number one. I know. I love Elsa, I love Ariel, I love all of them. I love Alice, even though she's technically not a princess. She should be, but she's not. I love them all, but my number one is actually Belle.
Oh,
she's beauty and brains, and she's a little bit adventurous, and she's a little bit naive and a little bit daring, but I just absolutely adore her. And Beauty and the Beast came out the year I was born, so it's kind of been my number one for a long time. So I love portraying Belle. I love everything about it.
And the one thing great about Belle is she goes from that beautiful kind of girl next door to this bam, fabulous bitch in the yellow gown. Yeah. So,
oh yes, I stan Emma Watson as Belle. Fight me.
I actually agree. I'm an old-fashioned girl. I mean, I was born in '84. I just told you.
I won't say that out loud. You can.
Yeah, so I was born in '84, and I grew up with all the original cartoons. So when they bring these live action remakes of them, it's kind of hard for me to watch them because I'm expecting the cartoon. Right.
Expectations are so hard to live up to. I watched The Lion King the other day, and I have mixed feelings about The Lion King because I loved that cartoon. But I have mixed feelings about that movie. I was like, but it is what it is.
you'll definitely spill the tea after the interview about that. But I do have another Disney question for you.
Okay.
So, as we know, there are a lot of fabulous Disney princesses. But
Yeah.
if you could run away with one Disney prince, who would you run away with?
Oh, that is so easy. I will take Prince Naveen in a heartbeat. Ooh, Prince Naveen from The Princess and the Frog. He is a French Creole man. He's got some spiciness to him. He's got some flavor to him. He likes good music, good food, and he knows how to have a good time. I'm taking Naveen. Hands down.
That's hot. Yes. I've always kind of personally been a Prince Eric kind of girl. You
Uh-huh.
know, I love a man that's ready to give you mouth to mouth. Hey.
I know.
So let's talk a bit about the inspiration for some of your other photo shoots. We've already kind of talked about some of the Disney photo shoots, but you've also done some fabulous glamour shoots, and you even did this fantastic shoot that's probably one of my favorites around Christmas time, where you were in a tree lot
Oh, yeah.
and you had just like red 50s housewife dress. Tell me a little bit, what inspires your photo shoots?
So as I was developing Jaklyn, even part of what I do now when I'm Jaklyn, the good Jaklyn, not the bad Quids Jaklyn, the good one. I actually really like vintage fashion. I love stuff from the 50s and 60s, the polka dot dresses. I love the vintage with like pearls and just like the style of the 50s and 60s. So I kind of call myself the 50s housewife in a way. I'm not afraid to get my pearls on and vacuum the floor at the same time. So I just like that style. And then so when I was doing that tree farm photo shoot, I had a 50s style red Christmas dress. I was like, well, this would be bomb. So I just paired it all together, and it just like it all depends on what I'm feeling, or even what the photographer wants to shoot. But I take inspiration from several different places, different music or movies, or it just depends, honestly. The next photo shoot I have lined up is going to be really great. It's going to be a professional shoot for the princesses.
Oh
It's going to be fun. Yeah.
You did just a fantastic photo shoot. And if you haven't seen it yet, go to Jaklyn St Claire's Facebook page, because you did this amazing photo shoot as Alice.
Yeah, just the other day. Yeah.
Oh my gosh. And some of those pictures are literally bringing Alice straight out of the page for me.
That that's what I'm trying to do. Like when I do my Disney drag, I want it to be really, I don't want it to be so character like animated. I want it to be like I could have just jumped out of those pages. So when I wanted to bring Alice to life, I wanted to do it in a way that wouldn't be like too over the top. So like adding accessories and stuff like that to this look. Like I did the bow, but I didn't want to do flashy jewelry and stuff like that because that wasn't Alice. So I want to get the point across without going too far. So yeah, I have a good shoot coming up for all of my six princesses that I can put together.
Oh my gosh, I hope you should do like a male counterpart for them too, and then come out with a calendar.
Oh, that's a good idea. Maybe I will, and I already have a beast, so.
Ooh, I love that. So
yeah.
we were talking a little bit about, princess royalty in Disney. Let's talk about royalty in real life. Someone told me, actually I know this because I was also reigning, that you were recently a debutante of Portland.
I was. I reigned from February of 2019 to this last February. So I just completed my year and I stepped down on February 1st. It was a great year. I learned a lot. I did some traveling, did some fundraising, and it was a great time getting to know the community, getting to know both my organization and the sister organizations, both in Salem and Eugene. It was fantastic. I actually wouldn't have asked for a better year. It was great.
That's awesome. Now, I found out, especially working in the court system, it really helps you, I would say, evolve your drag very quickly, just because you're constantly going to shows, you're putting on makeup for a short amount of times. Do you feel like going through the court system and holding a title has helped you evolve your drag?
Oh, absolutely. I remember, because I've only been doing this for not even 2 years,
Right.
and spending a year of that as the debutante, and getting in drag what felt like almost every weekend, for a show or a fundraiser event, or we did things like Peacock in the Park and all kinds of other things. And I feel like, getting into drag almost every weekend or every other weekend definitely helped when I was learning how to style myself, or what kind of hair I wanted to wear, or learning my makeup and stuff like that. Like, being the debutante really, really encourages you to grow. And I'm glad that I did it, for sure.
How was it to wear white for a whole year? I mean, it had to be challenging having to find outfits that matched your style, but then were in the white dress code.
What's really nice is that it's not actually like 100% white. And you only have to wear white when you are out representing your title. So if I was in drag but just out for a night on the town, I did not have to wear white. So the only time I really had to wear white was when I was wearing my tiara. And believe it or not, white is actually kind of hard to find,
Yeah.
unless you do a lot of online shopping. Like, it's kind of hard to find. But I was able to make it work. And the fact that I had, when I was first stepped up, my Empress was Kimberly Michelle Westwood, and my Emperor was Daniel Surreal Fox. And so they had, made their declaration that we didn't always have to wear gowns, which made everything super helpful. I could, wear pantsuits and skirts and dresses, like all kinds of different things, which was great. But white is actually kind of hard to find. And then the other big misconception about being the debutante and wearing white is that you have to wear it like the entire year, which is true, but there's only really like 6 or 7 big major events that you have to go to with your tiara, where you have to represent your title. So wearing white 6 or 7 times out of 365 days, it's really not that bad. So I had a blast with it.
That's true. And did you get a big shiny tiara with your debutantes?
I do have a tiara. Actually, I have 2 of them. We got the tiara when we step up, the one that we wear to represent our title all year. And then when I stepped down, I was gifted a new one that has purple rhinestones in it.
I feel ripped off. I only got my one crown for my smaller title. I love that though.
Mine was a gift from my knight. So.
Oh, that's different. You're allowed to. I mean, during my Empress year, people made fun of me because I actually had 3 different crowns for my Empress year. I had my state crown, my travel crown, and then my Empress crown.
Right.
So,
now when I go to Eugene and go to events, I'm just trying not to get stabbed in the eye by Francesca, but
Oh my God, and her crown of death.
Yeah.
I think that thing is hilarious. It's a beautiful crown, and she made that herself.
It's got all these lightsabers all over it, and I feel like I'm going to lose an eye.
The fact that you just called them lightsabers is going to give her so much joy when she watches this, but she's definitely almost blinded me a few times.
Is that not what they are? Are they not lightsabers?
I don't know. I think she just kind of got some inspiration. I know that they're definitely leaning towards a fantasy.
Okay, I thought they were lightsabers because they're all different colors, but okay.
They might be. I mean, I don't know her drag too much, so who knows? So, you know what? So, would you consider running for something a little higher? Maybe running again for a bigger crown?
A bigger crown.
A bigger crown?
Well, let's just put this out there. If I ever do run for something as big as Empress of Portland, the Rose Empress, it won't be for several years, several years. I've got to get some more experience and stuff like that under my belt first. Is it an aspiration of mine for the future? Sure, but it won't be for several years, several years. I got some other things going on in my noggin that are coming up before that, so.
Okay. I mean, are you going to plan on doing any pageants or anything maybe this upcoming year now that you have a little freedom? Ooh.
Mum's the word.
I love a little mystery.
Yes, ma'am. Mum's the word.
So perfect. So you have been performing for about 2 years, as you mentioned. talk to me a little bit about being a newer queen and working in the drag scene over there in Portland.
The word that I want to use is competitive. Because the drag scene, I mean, Portland is a good sized city, but the performing community in Portland is not so big. There are a lot of us, and the amount of venues and stuff like that that we have to perform in, there's not very many, and we're losing more and more of them as time goes on. So it's very competitive as far as finding a place to perform, especially as a newer queen. I'm just fortunate enough to have made some really great connections, and like I said, I work at Stag, so I have a great opportunity there. And then with my other show as well, I've been really fortunate enough to make good connections and make good friends. And with my show, I'm able to give another opportunity for newer queens to perform as well. So that's really one thing that I really like about doing drag, is giving others opportunity as well. But it's definitely competitive here in Portland.
Well, it's competitive anywhere you go, especially because this day and age, we're overflowing with drag queens. Since RuPaul's Drag Race and all those reality shows, anyone pretty much comes out and does drag, even if they're a newbie and they're like, okay, I want a gig, I want to get paid for it. It's not like the old days where you came out, you worked for free, you showed up at shows in full drag, ready to perform for free. But, these kids these days, they're ready to work for it. So, I mean, I love that.
Right.
So, tell me about some of your favorite queens out there in Portland.
Like local queens, or like national, like international, like known queens?
We're going to actually stay with locally, just because you have a lot of amazing queens out there in Portland. I want to know some of the ones that you look up to and some of the ones you love to work with.
Oh my gosh, there are so many. I work with some amazing people on a weekly basis. Not to name drop all of my co-hostesses at Stag, but I love every single one of them. I work with Kimberly Michelle Westwood. I work with Flawless Shade. I work with Godiva Divine. I work with some amazing people. And then, of course, Michael, who owns the bar, and we've got amazing bar staff with Rocky and Nicole and everyone. But I love where I work. I'm very, very blessed, and I have a great opportunity there. Some other people that I love to work with. I love the organization that I work with the Rose Court, and the president of the board right now, Monica Boulevard, has been great to me. The reigning Emperor and Empress, with Chance de Belmont and Genuine Beauté. They're amazing people, as well as the people I have already reigned with Kimberly and Daniel. And oh God, the list goes on, but I love working with the people that I have around me day in and day out. They're just great people, do anything for you kind of people. And I love that.
I think that's fantastic. Those are definitely the kind of people that you want to surround yourself with. Personally, these days, I don't have time for people that don't support me. So if you don't appreciate who I am or what I do, I mean, I'll still be civil to you. I'll still be nice to you, just because that's how I was taught. You don't need people just because you're better than that. But, I'm definitely just ready to be myself and not give a shit about the haters. So I love that. Now,
I mean, you gotta do what's right for you, no matter what. You gotta keep number one's interest in mind, and you always have to do what you have to do. And sometimes you have to make tough calls, and you have to make bad and hard decisions. But sometimes you always have to do what you have to do to make sure that you're happy. Because if you're not happy yourself, then you can't make anyone else happy. So
that's true, absolutely. So let's talk a little bit about your performances. So when you do these regular shows, you perform quite a bit. Tell me a little bit what inspires your performances and what kind of music you tend to pick.
Growing up as a little kid, my mom and dad raised me on a farm. So naturally I was raised around country music. And that's what I grew up loving. So when I first started doing drag, I did a lot of country, a lot of Carrie Underwood and Shania Twain, Miranda Lambert, Martina McBride. I love those women as artists. And when I first started doing drag, I was doing country, so that's what I was doing. And I still love to do that. That's what Backwoods Jackie gets down to. So I love performing country music, and it gives me a chance to kind of dirty it down a little bit, and I don't have to be as prim and proper when I do my country music, which is fun. I can wear flats when I wear my cowboy boots. But then when I'm Jaklyn, I like to do a lot of pop, and I love Demi Lovato, and I'm a huge Glee fan. Like, I have loved Glee ever since it debuted in 2009. It started the year that Glee started the year I graduated high school. So I know. I know.
I feel old. Stop. No, tell me a little bit about that. So does the Glee music and some of the music and the characters from that show inspire your performances then?
Oh, always. My favorite character on that show has always been Santana. She knows who she is. She's not afraid to get what she wants. She's not afraid to do what she has to do to get what she wants or who she wants. She takes no shit from nobody. She's got super great style, fashion. Everything's fantastic. I love Santana. And then that's who I aspire to be. But in real life, I'm actually more like Rachel Berry. So I like both of them.
So, and I've heard you've actually have like a cheerleader Santana look. Is that correct?
I do. I have a Cheerios outfit. I got it. I got a Cheerios outfit, and I do have a dark ponytail that I wear when I perform it. So I very much do have a cheerleader routine that I do, inspired by Santana.
You know, what I'd really like to see you do, because we like we said before, you tend to do a lot of things that are pretty. I like to see you go outside that comfort zone, but still stick to your Glee safety zone and do some Sue.
Oh my God, get a tracksuit.
Tracksuit, some short blonde hair. Oh, you could rock that.
Oh my God, I could just go without a wig, but you know.
Well, I mean, your real hair could work, right?
It's too short and it's green right now.
Oh, it's green.
It's green.
Well, no, I think that would be fun, but I really love that you're inspired by Glee. I have to be honest.
I love it.
I have the biggest crush on Mr. Schue.
Of course you did. Of course you did.
You mean Matthew Morrison? Oh. Oh yeah, he posted his new album recently, and oh God, he's beautiful.
You made a baby to it, didn't you?
Well, did you watch American Horror Story 1984?
No.
So he was in that season, and
he did. Okay.
And they kept insinuating he had a huge.
Oh, got it. Okay.
Just to say, that was a very hard season for me.
Oh, I'm sure it was. Very
hard. So, Jaklyn, do you consider yourself a funny queen?
No.
What?
No.
How are you a drag queen and you're not funny?
I'm not funny. I have one-liners that I get every once in a while, but I am not funny. And I don't try to be funny because I know that I'm not funny. If I make a joke, it was a fluke.
Oh my gosh, but bitch, don't you like host shows and talk on the microphone?
Oh yeah, no, but I'm not funny. I don't rely on humor for that. I just keep it real, so I call shit out when I see it. Okay. I'm that kind of hostess.
You know, I rely on stupidity and just being a dork, and you know.
I mean, I try to, and I make jokes when they're necessary, but sometimes those jokes don't always land. So I just kind of go with the flow, and I have regular conversation on the microphone, and I use that more than forced humor, because for me it does not work.
Well, that's, you know, I definitely understand that. Now, when you're working at, let's say, somewhere like Stag, and there's so many beautiful boys out there, I mean, beautiful, half-naked men, do you ever...
Girl, they are more than half-naked half the time.
Oh, God, I don't know how I would be able to stay tucked the whole time.
I almost said something hella shady.
Well, you know, I love a little shade once in a while, even if it is aimed at me. So
you could always be like Kimberly and wear a loose fitted dress so you don't tuck in the first place.
Well, I could be more like Shima and just wear a jock strap under my skirt and be ready to play.
I did not say that.
I did though. Girl, I have a sticker with Shiva's butt on it. So, I mean, she's not ashamed of her ass.
We all have those stickers.
Oh my gosh. So tell me a little bit, like, what a Jaklyn St Claire experience on the microphone. Do people like just hang on every word then?
Oh my gosh, you're putting me on the spot.
Yes, I am.
I actually like to do a lot of audience involvement when I'm on the microphone. Like when I'm hosting my brunch, I will, go out into the crowd and get people involved, because that's how people laugh too, is when you can play off of each other. And I like to do that with the crowd, is, make jokes with people one-on-one, and that makes a lot of people laugh. So
do you when like I can to embarrass do that, people?
I'm sorry, what?
Do you like to embarrass people?
Oh my God, I do it all the time. It's great, especially if it's people I know, because then I can really push that envelope. So if I've got a friend or something like that in the audience, I'd be like, "Sup, hooker?" And then we just, get into it, and it's great. Nobody else in the room knows that I know these people, so they just think it's hilarious.
And do you ever play games to embarrass your audience? I know one of the things I like to do when I'm hosting and we want to just kind of interact with the people is we do like a fake orgasm contest and just.
I haven't done that yet because my brunch is all ages and I have to keep it family friendly. But at the bar, yes, ma'am.
Get the strippers to do that. I would love to see them orgasm. I mean, fake orgasm.
Fake, yes. Faux. It's a faux-gasm.
Faux-gasm. Oh my God, I love that. So you work with a lot of people, from strippers to dancers to drag queens to burlesque dancers. Mm-hmm. I mean, you are, in 2 years, you've really established yourself and created a platform where you're working with some of the best bitches in Portland, correct?
I'm actually very blessed to be able to work with who I work with. The organization that I belong to, I get to meet and work with so many people. The bar that I work for, with all the opportunities that I've been granted there. I mean, at Stag, we have, nationally wide known people come all the time, people who have been on RuPaul's Drag Race, people who have been on Camp Wanakiki, and recording artists. We've had all kinds of people come through. And I'm very, very fortunate. Like this last weekend, I got to meet Britta Filter from season 12, and she was a peach to work with and get to know. And before that was Trinity Taylor, and we always have Angina and Jessica Wilde, and a whole bunch of people come through. And I'm just really fortunate to get to know and work with so many other people as well.
Who's been your favorite so far? So you mentioned a few names, but who were you just fangirling over meeting?
Oh man. Actually, one of my dear favorite people that I've worked with a couple of times is Eureka O'Hara. She is a sweetheart. I absolutely adore her. I got to meet her once when she came with Katya a couple years ago, and then this last year for Pride, she was at Stag, and I got to work with her again. And she's just a dream to work with. She's a super sweet girl. Not afraid to kick it with the customers after her gig is over. So she'll sit down and have a drink with you, shoot the shit, and talk a whole bunch of tea. Like, she is not afraid to do that, and I absolutely love her. She's a dream.
See, and I love Eureka. She was actually one of my favorites from her season, and I know she wasn't necessarily painted in the best light that year, but I thought she was talented. I thought
she's great.
Great costumes. And in fact, a little tea that I can spill on my end is one of Eureka's little children, Chartreuse O'Hara, will be on my show later in April, streaming all the way from Scotland.
That's insane. I love Chartreuse. She is Imperial Princess Royale, right?
Yeah. And she was debutante.
She was. And then she moved up to Seattle for a little while. And she's Queen of the Seas. And then they just relocated. But I absolutely adore her. She's a fantastic person.
Yeah, I'm really excited to have her later in April. She moved over way to Scotland. So we actually get like one of my farthest guests to come on the show. So I'm really excited.
Yeah, as you should be. She's fantastic. And that's going to be a record for you with the separation, like in Eugene and then in Scotland. That's great.
Oh my gosh. Well, just hopefully we're not lagging the whole time.
Oh my God. And that working out that time difference is going to be interesting.
Right. So, you know what? I know you've told me in our little pre-interview that I do with you that you actually have some theater background. Now, do you think that theater background has given you an advantage with your drag?
Yes and no. I mean, I have some theater background. I did theater when I was in high school, and that was over 10 years ago, so that's been some time. But I did have fun when I did theater, and it's almost like drag in a way, where you get into a character and you put on a costume. So this is my way of kind of continuing what I was doing when I was in high school, but kind of just slightly different. But I have fun with it, and I think that my theater training from high school does help me a little bit when it comes to getting into a persona or getting into a character. When I'm learning a routine or when I'm, practicing a new song for a new number, it definitely helps knowing that I can, use my face in a specific way to show a different expression, or, turn my body a specific way, or it definitely helps. So having some theater background is definitely an advantage.
I agree. I actually took theater in college, and that was my major. And I was a costume designer because to me, I learned how to act a little, but I was more interested in what happened behind stage. And
Sure.
I always wanted to play with all the fancy costumes. And the best thing about being the costume designer is you get to work with a lot of half-naked, gorgeous guys and fit their costumes. So,
Taking those measurements.
those measurements can sometimes be very hard to get.
You just like to play with their inseam.
Naughty girl. But no, I really feel like that theater, that experience really helps me figure out who Maliena was going to be, kind of, especially like when you're on stage. The one thing that I think was very valuable was learning what blocking is. And,
right.
Blocking is very different than like choreographing is where you're going to have a full dance number and you know how you're going to move. Now, blocking, you're just saying, okay, I'm going to walk this direction and I'm going to do this flourish. And it's basically mapping out your whole routine. And, honestly, learning that from college has been one of the most helpful things I actually bring into my drag world.
Yeah, I definitely agree with that too. I did some musicals when I was in high school to go along with the plays and stuff that I would do, and doing the musicals and learning to match music with hitting those blockings was absolutely an advantage when I'm performing now. If I know, like, at this point in a certain song, I want to be at this place in the stage and stuff like that. So that's definitely an advantage. So absolutely.
So you mentioned you love musicals. I'm quite a musical fan myself. Tell me one of your favorites.
I've seen a few. I've seen Wicked, I've seen Frozen, and I've seen a few others. It's really, really hard for me to acknowledge this or say this out loud because Wicked is supposed to be the best musical of all time.
So good.
But in my own honest opinion, and from what I've seen, like, Frozen was actually better. In my experience, Frozen was better. I saw them both at the Keller Auditorium in Portland. And come to find out, I'm pretty sure it was the same actress who played Elphaba who's actually playing Elsa now.
Oh!
The same actress has done both. So I don't know. It must have just been the production and the lighting and the music and everything. But, like, to me, Wicked was good. Wicked was good, honey, good.
Yeah.
But Frozen was just, it was better. It just was better.
Personally, and it's funny because I'm going to mention my favorite musical, and all three things that you mentioned and myself involve Idina Menzel. And she has such a fantastic performer, and one musical she's participated in and she was in the live action movie was Rent.
Yeah.
I will say I really love that musical because you see the struggle from the 80s and 90s, and you see people suffering from HIV, and you see same-sex couples, a trans character. I mean, to me, that musical touches my heart, and anytime I need to cry, I literally will turn on that, and I'm singing along and crying at the same time.
You're a mess, girl. Get it together.
Oh, girl, I'm used to being a mess. Oh, my gosh. It's got me this far, right?
Well,
You bitch. And you said you weren't shady.
I said I have my moments.
That's true. You did. So let's say this. You were about to get a moment where they asked you to bring a celebrity to life, and you need to do your best celebrity impersonation. Let's say Snatch Game. Who would you bring to the stage, bitch?
Okay, so I have three different options. Option number one is going to be the celebrity that everyone most commonly connects me to, which is Tori Spelling. I get Tori Spelling all the time.
Oh my God, you would be such an amazing Tori Spelling. You look just like her.
Beverly Hills 90210.
Oh.
Realness. No, I'm sorry, that was The Hills, right? I don't know. I don't even know what show she was
No,
from.
91210. You were right the first time.
Okay, I thought so. Okay, my mother raised me right. Okay. So I get Tori Spelling all the time.
Yeah.
I get all of it. And then when I do country music, and I wear blonde hair when I do country music, a lot of people say that I remind them of Jessica Simpson when she does Daisy Duke.
Okay.
So these boots are made for walking, how they are. And then my number three, I would really have to work on this characterization a little bit more because I haven't really done a lot of it with her. But I have the face shape and the butt chin to be Demi Lovato. So Demi Lovato has the chin dimple, okay? She does. And then just throw some dark hair on me and give me some pleather pants and we'll make it work.
But do you know the personality for any of those characters?
That's true, I don't. I would really have to fake that.
See, that's the most important part about Snatch Game and doing a celebrity impersonation is not just looking like the celebrity, but knowing their mannerisms, knowing how they joke, kind of making fun of some of the things they would do. In fact, let's say if I was ever to do a Snatch Game or celebrity impersonation, of course, my first choice has always been Joan Rivers. And I kind of want to be that older, more raspy Joan. You fucking asshole, my pussy's so goddamn dry. I mean, she was such an inspiration to me all through the 90s. I've also considered doing a male character and do Andy Warhol. And I think that would be fun just because he was such a character himself.
Yes, absolutely. And you definitely are a character queen. So I really feel like you could pull that off.
You know, I'm funny once in a while, not just funny looking. So I love this. We're learning so much about Jaklyn. Tell me something personally you want people to know about you.
Oh, that's really hard. Because I one thing that I do like to do is I try really hard to keep my personal life separate from my drag life. People, you know, a lot of people, they do drag so much that their drag life becomes their daily life. And so I try really, really hard to keep the two separate. I have an amazing boyfriend who is more than supportive of me and everything that I do, especially when I do drag and when I work at the bar every week or when I have my brunch and he's there to support me for that too. But I have an amazing boyfriend that is the world to me. But he also knows how to keep our personal life separate from what we do when we're out and about at the bar together or we're doing stuff. So I just like to keep my personal life separate from my drag life. But I mean, they intertwine at some points, obviously. But one thing that I really want people to know about Jackie is I really want people to like try to get to know me as a person versus people that I am associated with, because I'm not the same as other people. People make assumptions about individuals based on people that they're associated with, and that's just not how I work. So I really want people to get to know Jackie. I do my best every day to be kind. I do my best every day to not be that girl who's just going to go around running her mouth about people, because that's what I try really hard not to do. There's already too much of that. Right. But just get to know me. I'm not going anywhere anytime soon, and I really love what I do with my community and my organizations. And so just get to know me is all I want to, really want to put out there.
I think that's fantastic. And, honestly, that's true because, like I said before, when I first met you, you were kind of painted with that rested bitch face. So you intimidated me a bit. And then I finally talked to you and got to know you and realized you were just a sweetheart. And, you had your shady moments, but sometimes my face makes it way too easy for people to make fun of me. So.
Same. Same.
So. One thing I do actually need to know is, so for me, I like to call this my armor because it makes me feel so confident in real life. Has drag, affected your confidence in everyday life?
Yes and no. I also kind of consider my drag my armor. There are so many more things that I'm comfortable doing when I'm in drag that I'm not comfortable doing when I'm not. Like stuff as easy as singing in the car. Like, I love to sing in the car whenever I'm going somewhere, but when I'm in drag, I'm not afraid to belt that shit out. When I'm not in drag and I'm just driving around as myself, I'm keeping those windows rolled up and I'm keeping the music turned just a little bit down, but like Jackie's not afraid. And, Travis would never get up on stage and perform without hair and makeup and clothes on. There's just no way. But Jackie is a little bit less fearful. She makes me more brave as far as like my performance art and stuff like that. But oh yeah, it's definitely like a battle armor for me.
How about like flirting with the boys? I know with me, being Maliena, and especially when I'm dressed up as Maliena, I feel more confident to actually go up and talk to a guy that I would think maybe a little bit out of my league and be a little more flirty with him. Whereas Jamie or my boy self, I would probably hide in the corner and just stare at them the whole night.
Well, it's different with me because when I first started drag, I set that rule. Ground rules from day one is when I'm in drag, I don't flirt with boys. I absolutely won't. I might, I'm like maybe at work or something like that, and if I'm being a little flirtatious, to hopefully get a dancer, like a lap dance or something like that, I'll do it. But when I'm in drag, I don't flirt with boys because this is not real. At the end of the day, Travis is real, and she goes back into the closet. So I don't flirt with boys when I'm in drag. So I've set that rule for myself from the very first day. Like, it just doesn't, those lines don't cross for me. So, and plus I have a really supportive boyfriend that I've been with for quite some time now, and it's great. And so, yeah, no, Jackie doesn't flirt with boys.
See, I wish I was that strong. I mean, I'm currently in a relationship too myself, but even my boyfriend knows that if I'm dressed as Maliena and I'm out at the bar, don't be surprised if I'm flirting and being very sexy, because to me, that's part of my character also is, Maliena might be a clown, but she's very sexual and very, very confident about her body. So.
I think that's also part of Jaklyn's character too, is that she's such a sweet individual. Like, she's not forward about those like sexual advances and stuff like that. That's just not Jackie's person. She might wear some pleather and some black and, something that's got fishnets and holes and stuff in it, but that's just fun, but she doesn't ever use that. So her character is definitely more along like the sweet girl side versus the dominatrix.
Oh my gosh, girl. I'm definitely more the dominatrix side. I could tell you.
I've seen your closet.
I could tell you stories from when I was about 2, 3, 4 years in drag. And let's just say I had about the opposite rule about I did flirt with the boys and I was not afraid to go home with them.
Oh, girl.
But,
honey.
Well, let's just say that they always knew what was underneath before anything happened. But, oh God, I will thank drag for getting me some of the most beautiful men I've ever been with.
Oh, girl.
So, one thing I've noticed about you, Jackie, is you are beautiful. Your makeup is always perfect. You have that very realistic look, as we mentioned before. Now, would you ever consider going more campy, a little louder with the makeup, drag up that kind of look at all?
I've considered it. And just for this interview today, I covered my brows for you when I normally don't.
Oh my gosh. So you drew these. I will say your brows are fantastic, though.
Thanks, brows by me. No, I normally, when it comes to my makeup, I do my makeup in a very realistic type of way. And normally, like, I don't cover my brows. I use my regular boy brow, but just accentuate what I have. I don't always like overdraw my lips and stuff like that. So lately I've been moving forward and a little bit more of like a drag makeup aesthetic. My lips are a little bit bigger now, and today I covered my brows just for you.
Yeah.
So we're making advances into that direction, but do I think I'll ever get like really campy with big over the top dramatic makeup, stuff like that? And that's not in Jackie's wheelhouse because of who she is as a character. She might do it for funsies once in a while, but you know, gotta keep true to me as well as far as who I am.
You know, honey, us realistic girls gotta stick together.
Yes, ma'am.
Oh my gosh.
Just a couple of fishes.
Clownfish.
Clownfish. Bitch, we're a clownfish and I'm Dory. Look at me, I'm in blue.
Oh, I love it. You know, it's funny because I've always considered my drag to be very over the top. I was always inspired by not necessarily like women. Like I was actually inspired by the women who were characters like Peg Bundy, Elvira, Mimi from the Drew Carey Show. Those over the top confident women. And then when I created Maliena, I mean, so much of those different personalities came into her. So I couldn't even imagine doing like a feminine soft face on this. I mean, I just don't think it would.
Maybe one day I'll get a hold of you.
Well, and I will get the hold of you. We'll have to swap each other's makeup.
Oh my God, face swap?
Yeah.
Oh, that would be so great. That would be so great.
So another thing I'm curious. So we asked about the makeup. Would you ever consider like maybe doing big hair? Maybe like a locks by lilac?
I have thought about it, actually. I have thought about it. I do have one wig that Lilac has already styled for me. My Elsa hair was styled by Lilac. So it's a slightly bigger, a little bit more voluminous blonde slick back into a braid that I had Lilac do for me. So I do have one locks by Lilac already. I'm definitely not like Kimberly Michelle Westwood big. That's just not my style, but maybe half that far. Like if we went halvesies on the volume, I might. I'm thinking about it.
I love some volume. Like this is probably one of the flatter hairs that I tend to wear just because, you know, when you're wearing big makeup, you want your hair to kind of proportionize the rest of your look. So
I would wear that wig. I would wear that. That's the amount of volume that I would probably go for. Like, I like that amount of volume.
See, and I love this wig. This kind of gives me it's like a Farrah Fawcett style where it kind of curves into itself.
Yeah.
And it has the appropriate amount of volume. Now, I also love big Texas styles where it's just like the Kimberly Michelle Westwood wigs that she wears.
Yeah.
If I had enough money, honey.
Same.
So speaking of money, let's say there is a magic thrift store in the sky where everything inside the store was free. So you didn't have to worry about money. And it was filled with some of the most spectacular costumes and some of the most amazing things that you were only hoping to get your hands on. What would you like to do with Jackie if you had that unlimited resource?
The type of drag that I like to do, and if I had unlimited resources, my drag would definitely be along the lines of like old Hollywood glamour, vintage glamour. Think like Grace Kelly. Think like, oh my God, I could just think of so many. Farrah Fawcett is one of them that I absolutely adore. I also love burlesque, so Christina Aguilera. I also love, just big gowns. I love ball gowns. I love really, really form-fitting stuff that flares out at the waist, stoned and glistening to the sun. Like, I love all of that. And vintage style would definitely be me.
I love that. You know, I think we all have those wishes to help elevate our drag. I think when my drag started really reaching its full potential was when I could start getting some of the things that I've been wanting, like dance costumes, things covered in
Yeah.
rhinestone. One of the costumes I believe you even coveted of mine is this rainbow rhinestone French
I'm waiting for
costume.
you to get tired of that.
And it's probably one of my favorite costumes because every time I put it on, I look in the mirror and I'm like, how do I look this good? And
Yeah.
I'm amazed with myself. So you mentioned before in the interview that you don't really like to mix your drag and your personal. Well, we're gonna do that. We're gonna
Oh, okay.
mix that all up.
Okay,
So
fine.
I actually want to
I'm
know a
gonna
little
need
bit.
another drink for this.
Oh yeah, get that drink, girl. Get that drink
It's just coffee, but still.
with a little Kahlua, just a little. So you mentioned you have a fantastic boyfriend,
I do.
and he's quite supportive of the drag.
100%. Yep. He's
Now,
behind me 100%.
how would you say drag has affected your relationship?
Um, well, it's always been there because I met him in July of last year. So I was halfway through my reign as debutante when I met him, and I didn't ever hide the fact that I was a drag queen from him. I told him on our very first date that I was a drag queen, and he's always been cool with it. He actually did drag in college. And he's from South Carolina, where it's not always a safe space in those areas for queer people, not to mention queer POC people. And he did drag in college. And so when I told him that I was a drag queen on the very first date, he was nothing but supportive. He's like, oh, that's cool, and, I'll come to your shows and stuff like that. And he has, and he's always been there for me. And he was there for me when I did my step down from being the debutante. He was downstairs helping me get dressed and everything for every different look I did. And he's been there for me every single day ever since we met in July. And, whenever I have an idea about a drag look or something like that, I'll bounce it off of him. And, if I have aspirations for things coming up in the future, I'll bounce those ideas off of him too. And we're very much a team when it comes to it, but he definitely lets it be my thing, and he has his own stuff, but we're very supportive of each other.
I love that, and I love a relationship that really does support the drag. Now, would you ever consider, because you mentioned he's done drag back in college, would you ever consider giving him your own drag makeover?
Oh, I did, actually. I did. I gave him a drag makeover what was it, like last weekend or the weekend before?
Oh, where are the pictures?
I posted them on social media. They're
Oh,
on there.
I am going to go look because was he pretty?
Oh my God, my boyfriend's prettier than me, and it's stupid.
Oh, you would say he's actually prettier than you.
He is. It's blasphemy, but it's true. He is.
So let's say the boyfriend decided to do drag full time with you. Would you cut up all his dresses, burn all his wigs?
No. Oh my God, if he wanted to do drag with me on a regular basis, he's more than welcome to.
Could you get used to him being the pretty one?
Well, we're both pretty, but in different ways. Okay. He's ebony and I'm ivory, so there's that. We have different looks, different feels, but he loves color when it comes to his drag, and I tend to do like a more like neutral face, with splashes of color. And when I put him in drag for the first time, he was like, I want blue eyeshadow, I want bright lips, I want bright hair. So he's definitely a little bit more adventurous with his drag style than I am. And he's definitely more of like a dancer and stuff like that. So when he does music, he's all like into it. We're both great, but different.
So tell me, do you have a drag name for him?
He has not given himself one yet, no.
Oh, I was hoping you had something like fantastic and catchy.
The drag name that he had when he was in college was Empress Monroe. And when he told me that, I was like, oh, that's not going to work.
You're not an empress, honey. You can't use that title.
Yeah, right, exactly. And not to mention my friends in San Francisco, the Monroes, who have been empresses. And I was like, oh, that's not going to work.
So let's talk a little bit about your other personal life. Now, how does your family react to you doing drag?
Actually, my family is super supportive. I actually live with my aunt, and my aunt helps me get ready all of the time whenever I ask her. Every time I get into drag, she has to take a picture of my look before I leave the house. We have a whole album of pictures that we are putting together. My mom is my #1 fan. She absolutely loves it. She says I'm the daughter she never had because she only has 2 boys. But my family is 100% supportive of whatever I decide to do with my drag. My dad comes to shows every once in a while. Whenever I tell him he's required to be at one, he comes. But my family is very supportive.
And has that felt, do you feel like it gives you even more confidence knowing like your family and the people closest to you support and back you up in your art form?
I mean, yes, absolutely. I mean, who wouldn't feel that whenever they have that kind of support? It definitely makes me want to continue on doing what I do. You know, I've even had, for my Belle costume, when I first got it, I took it out of the packaging, we washed it and everything, hung it up to dry, and then my aunt sat with me for 2 hours just to iron it, and it took a full 2 hours to iron that gown. So we do stuff like that all the time. It's fantastic.
Do you ever go shopping with your mom or your aunt and pick out dresses
Oh my God.
together?
Well, I do a lot of my shopping online, but when I do go to the mall or something like that and I'm looking for stuff, my mom will come with me and we'll hit up things like Forever 21 and get like those little bodysuits and stuff like that that go under costumes. And shoot, I'm not afraid to hit up H&M and Ross. Like, I'm not afraid to be an off-the-rack kind of girl either.
That's fine. You know what? There's nothing wrong with shopping off the rack, especially if you know how to make it your own personality and kind of give your own twist to it. Now, the one thing I am kind of curious about when you do go shopping with like your mom or your aunt, or let's say you go put on some drag and you come out, do they ever like, you look a little slutty, maybe you should go put something else on?
No, not at all.
No?
No, my mom is like, oh, that's cute. Maybe you should wear this kind of bra with it. My mom is all about it. I'm a grown-ass man who dresses up like a woman, so I'm a grown-ass woman. And my mom is like, if you got the curves, honey, if you got them, flaunt them. And my mom is totally all about that too. She loves my breastplate. She thinks, oh, we have to make sure to get that because it'll make your boobs look good. I'm like, oh, thanks, Mom.
I'm like so jealous of your mom right now. Like I didn't grow up with any of that support, and the fact that your mom is so supportive and the fact that she makes joke about your breastplate, I think that is really fantastic.
Yeah, my mom is so involved with my drag. It's so great. She's actually my door lady at my brunch, and she takes the cover and everything like that. And so she's very involved, and I'm very, very blessed to have my family.
I will say you are definitely one of the lucky few, because not all of us, you know, get to have family that support us. And actually, I know many drag performers that don't even tell their family that they do this.
Right.
And, you know, that to have that outlet and to have that people who actually support you, girl, I envy you. And, you know, it sounds like your family's doing it right. I love that. So, girl, we're getting close to the end of the interview. I have a few more questions, and then we're going to play a little game. So, what could we expect next for Jaklyn?
There are some projects that I'm working on right now. One of the things that I think is missing from our community that I really want to bring back is I feel like today's entertainers have a tendency to forget the people who kind of paved the way for us. So one of the projects that I'm working on now, or that I will be able to resume working on when we legally can, is going to be a show that kind of highlights and shows a spotlight on some of the people who came before us. And I want to give a space to yesterday's performers to come back and be back in the spotlight. And I have a really neat show in the works with my dear friend and auntie, Nikki Entourage Monet. I have a project in the works with her to bring back some of everyone's favorite performers who don't perform on a regular basis.
I think that's a fantastic idea. You know, there's a lot of performers who have either stepped down due to age or illness or just health issues. And, you know, they don't mind doing it once in a while. They just can't do it all the time like they used to in their youth. And to do an event like that that features them and allows them to come out and show their talents again, I think that is probably one of the best ideas, honestly, I've heard in years, girl.
I just feel like, and I've heard this from a number of people, that people, like once they reign and they step down, or people once they hit a certain age, or you know, they feel like they get forgotten about. And I don't want them to feel like that. So I wanted to come up with an avenue for people who have those kind of feelings to come back and be able to do what they love to do. Maybe not as often, maybe, you know, instead of every week, we have a show once a month or something like that. And, you know, once a month is not that big of a commitment. So I'm definitely excited about putting this kind of a show together for those people who haven't gotten a chance to do what they love to do, and this will give them a chance to do it.
I love that. And, you know, it really warms my heart to see a younger kid such as yourself, who's a little newer to the scene, willing to give back to the older community. Because honestly, if it wasn't for those people, we wouldn't have we wouldn't have the rights that we have today. We wouldn't be able to, you know, our whole drag community has been, it's all about the people that came before us. And kids don't recognize that. And they think they can be disrespectful to our elders or pretend that they didn't perform before us. And, you know, guys, those people really did paid so much for us to be able to be in drag, to just be silly and not be scared to go back to be out in public. Because back when they did drag, I mean, you had to wear a certain amount of male clothing. It was illegal to be out in drag. I mean, guys, they went through some scary shit, so we should always respect the people that came before us, especially in our drag community, guys.
I also want people to know that there's more than one type of performance. You don't have to do kicks and flips and twirls and death drops and backflips and all of those fancy things to be a good performer. I am not a dancer. I can't dance to save my life unless I have choreography that I've practiced for multiple times. And, you know, I can't dance. So I also want to showcase a different side of performing. I love those queens who can just sit there and belt out a ballad and slay an entire audience without even having to move. There are so many different types of performances, and I want to make sure that all of those different avenues get showcased also, because like, if people will look at more than one type of performance as equals as compared to people who do all of the kicks and flips and twirls and all of that stuff, all of those different types of performing, they're all great. They're just different. And I want to showcase that too, because, you know, there are people like me who can't dance, but they can still perform.
Right. I love that. So we are almost at the end. I only have like 2 more questions.
Okay.
They might be the hardest questions of the whole time. So I've known you pretty much from the beginning of your drag career, maybe a little after. Tell me a little bit about meeting me, Maliena Bitchcock, and your first impression of me.
I'm not gonna lie, I thought bitch was crazy. I thought she was crazy. I was like, who is she? What is she doing? What is she wearing? What is going on? I was like, I don't know her, but I'm watching her because I was instantaneously like, I don't know who she is, but I'm interested. So I need to figure out who this is. That was my first impression. I was like, this bitch is crazy and I'm here for it. And still to this day, I have the same impression. This bitch is crazy and I'm here for it.
It's true though. I'm a nutty queen, and I'm never afraid to make fun of myself or any of that.
And if you can't make fun of yourself, then you have no right making fun of anyone else.
Amen, honey. Amen. So the last question is, what did you think about your experience on Bitch Talk with Bitchcock?
It's great. I mean, it's not very often that I get to sit down and just have a conversation with another queen like this, as face-to-face as we can possibly get. Right. Social distancing. 6 feet, honey. 6 feet. We used to say 6 inches, but Jesus, it's an exaggeration.
8 inches for me, honey. I like it big.
I'm sure you do. Anywho, but no, this was great. I love being able to just sit down and chat girl to girl and, you know, shooting the shit and talking about what's going on and what it's like for those of us who are used to performing every single week to right now not performing at all. It was fantastic. I really enjoyed this experience. This was fun. And I'm glad that we have gotten a chance to sit down and talk like this, which hasn't been done in a while. So I'm very, very thankful for it.
And I'm so thankful that people get to see the true Jaklyn. People get to see how wonderful you are. and that know that, you know what, we're drag queens, we can be shady, we can have that rested bitch face, but you're a sweetheart underneath it all. And that was
That's
my
my mission.
big goal, to let everyone know that this fabulous bitch deserves to get her limelight. And honey, so tell me a little bit, do you have a Venmo, a PayPal, or a Cash App that people can tip you for spilling the tea and talking a little bit about your information?
Absolutely. I do have a Venmo. My Venmo is at the Jaklyn St Claire. I'm also on PayPal, and I'm also on Cash App. Do I remember my handles off the top of my head for those? No, but I will get them to you so that way you can post them.
Those will be in the description of the video. So if you would like to tip the our special guest, it would be highly appreciated, guys. And honestly, these are hard times. So even if you can tip $1, it's very much appreciated. Every dollar adds up. We have up to 200 to 300 views on each of these videos. So if you're donating $1, that almost puts $200 in our hand, girl. So again,
Please.
if you can tip, yeah. Absolutely. And my
It takes
Venmo,
a lot of money to look this cheap.
it is not cheap to be a drag queen. That is, it's expensive just for my makeup.
True.
But also, my Venmo and PayPal is also going to be in the comment and description. I'm so happy you came out here on Bitch Talk with Bitchcock. But before I let you go, I have a little game to play.
Okay, I need some.
Yeah, girl, get that bait. Get that bait. So this game we are going to call Marry, Kai, or Cancel. Oh, girl, it's going to get real. So before we get into this game, I want to give a little bit of a disclosure. This is just for fun. Don't get offended. Guys, I've listed several people that we're both used to working with. So just, this is all for fun, guys. Don't get offended, okay? So, your first...
Do I have an option to plead do I have an option to plead the fifth if I need to? Oh, okay.
No, baby. It's not fun if I let you plead the fifth.
Oh, okay.
Okay, your first set of a Marry, Kai, or Cancel is Kimberly Michelle Westwood, Flawless Shade, or Sativa Jones.
Oh boy. Okay. Okay. Kimberly, Flawless, and Sativa. Okay. Well, the easiest one to do is cancel Kimberly.
Yeah!
She's had her time. She's done.
Yes.
Cancel Kimberly. She's had her time. Empress of the Decade can have a seat. She's done. Yes. Cancel Kimberly. Now I have Kai and Mary.
No.
Oh
yep.
Boy. This is so hard. I think I would Kai with Flawless and marry Sativa.
Oh, that is such a good choice. I mean, Flawless is a beautiful, beautiful man. And I would definitely marry Sativa just because, I mean, that bitch has an unlimited supply of weed.
And I can't believe you made me do that because Flawless and Sativa are besties. So that's fucked up.
I love you, and they're both going to be on my show also, so they will have their chance to rebuttal, I promise.
Okay, good.
So, round 2 of Marry, Kai, or Cancel. So we have Monica Boulevard, Bolivia Carmichael, or Poison Waters.
Oh, Monica, Bolivia, and Poison. Oh my God. Okay, so I would Kai with Bobo. I would Kai with Bolivia. Okay. I would marry Monica, and I would cancel Poison.
Cancel Poison Waters.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh, I don't think she's ever heard those words ever.
I know. And I'm getting a weird look from my aunt across the room, just saying she loves Poison.
You know, I have to tell you a secret. Poison Waters was actually the first drag queen I ever met.
Well, that's not a secret because you're both old.
You shady bitch.
I told you I have my own.
It's all right. I could be shady too. Are you ready for round 3?
Yes.
So, this is where it gets a little hard.
Mm-hmm.
Genuine Butte, Lilac, or Nikki Entourage?
Oh my God. Okay, so you have me up against Genuine is my drag godmother, my mother. And we've got Nikki, who's my aunt, and Lilac. Oh my, oh God. Why?
They can't be easy.
So I'm not kai-kaiing my mother. No, ma'am. I'm not.
There's Lilac.
Okay, we'll kai-kai with Lilac, and then we'll. Ooh. Okay, so we're gonna kai-kai with Lilac. We're gonna marry Auntie Nikki, and we have to cancel Genuine because I can't marry or kai-kai with my godmother. That's not happening.
I'm surprised you're canceling Genuine. I did not see that coming.
Well, I can't do the other two. That's just not kosher.
See, I would have canceled Nikki. I love her. She had her time.
Oh wow. Oh wow. Well, you never know what Nikki has coming up her sleeve.
Yeah, so the next set we have for round 4, Diana Fire,
Mm-hmm.
Angel Phoenix, and Vivica Valentine.
Oh boy. Oh, actually, this is really easy. I'm canceling Angel Phoenix. She's done. She's tired. She's headlined in Vegas. She can have a seat.
Can't argue.
What?
Can't argue. She's definitely got
Can't
purchase.
argue.
That bitch shines bright.
Right. And then, okay, Vivica and Diana Fire.
Mm-hmm.
Oh boy. Well, they're both already engaged to be married. So let's see. Vivica. Okay, we're gonna kai-kai with Viv, and we'll marry Diana Fire.
I mean, okay. I would have turned those around. I would have married Vivica, and I would have kai-kai'd with Diana Fire.
Oh my goodness.
Oh yeah. I mean, Diana Fire is. Yeah. All right, baby. Well, you are doing so good, and I'm appreciating you being so honest. Now, we have round 5.
Okay.
Coco, Gem Holiday,
Uh-huh.
Claire, apparently,
Mm-hmm.
and Maliena, Bitchcock.
Ah!
Oh, now that's some shade.
Oh my God. Wow, put me on the damn spot, Maliena. Okay.
I'm about to get canceled.
Huh?
I said I'm about to get canceled.
So no. Mm-mm. Okay, first of all, I'm going to preface this by saying I don't really know 2 of the 3 people that you listed.
Okay.
I'm growing my relationship with Coco. I don't really know her that well yet. I really don't know Claire that well, so I'm going to preface this by saying I don't really know Claire. So I don't mean any offense by anything that I'm about to say to any 3 of you, okay?
Okay.
I don't know Claire that well. Unfortunately, I'm going to have to cancel Claire. I would have to, I think I might have to kai-kai with Maliena and marry Coco.
Oh, yeah. They call me Bitchcock for a reason, so you're good.
Oh, okay. Got it.
Oh my gosh, girl, you did so freaking wow.
Well, you put me on the damn spot. I don't know how many times.
Well, honey, this show is not always meant to be easy. We have to ask the difficult questions.
You wanted the ratings, didn't you, bitch?
Well, if I wanted the ratings, I would have asked some other questions now, wouldn't I?
Those questions are still off the record.
Well, honey, thank you again for coming on Bitch Talk with
Thank
Bitch
you for
Talk.
having me. I really appreciate it. It was fun.
Absolutely. It's been such a pleasure to have you here. Again, guys, if you would really like to show us some extra appreciation, please pay attention to the description where you can find our PayPal, our Venmo, and you can just tip us a little extra money. Again, if you would like to, oh, what's up, Miss Thing?
I was going to say, you can also follow us on social media. Instagram is always a great place.
Yes.
I'm at the Jaklyn_St Claire.
Perfect. And do you have a Facebook too, I'm guessing?
Yeah, Jaklyn St Claire on Facebook as well. There's no C in my name. It's JAK.
Oh, yeah. So, again, I love that. Follow us on Instagram. Make sure to give us a little extra money if you can. Now, if you would like to be on a future episode of Bitch Talk with Bitchcock, please send me a private message to James Roberts on Facebook. I look forward to interviewing all performers, from drag performers to burlesque to male dancers to trans performers to biological women, anyone who really is brave enough to put on some clothes and go on stage and entertain people. I respect you and I would love to have you on the show. So our next guest is going to be the amazing Miss Bonnie Rose, and that will be coming up this Monday. So again, boys and girls, thank you for tuning in. I love you so much. And Miss Jaklyn, I love you, girl. Thank you for coming up and sharing all your glamour with us, girl.
Oh, stop.
Well, again,
thank you for
having
me, Maliena. It was a blast. I really enjoyed it. It was so much fun. Thank you so much.
Absolutely, baby. Again, thank you for joining us, and I hope you have a fantastic weekend. Bye!